All right. This is not a video I wanted to have to make, but here we are. And less than a day later, this is where my thumbnail came from. You want to talk about feeling emboldened? I don't remember seeing any of this while Biden was still in office. Maybe what's going on. But, to have this right afterwards. Types of property: women, slaves, animals, cars, land, etc. The hell do they mean by etc.? They believe you are property. We are in a new era of schizophrenia, never seen before. And this stacked on with the fact of bring that up. Random people, random people, uh, people of color are getting these with their names, by the way. Talia J, you've been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation starting on 11/7/2024. Please be ready at 8 a.m. sharp with your belongings. Our executive slave catchers pick you up in a brown van. Be prepared to be searched once you're enter the plantation. You're on plantation group 7. And they're all different kind of formats, so could be an automated system, but somebody's setting this up. And this is happening right after the election. Oh, Donald Trump, he's not a violent man. He's not going to do anything like that. This happened right after. Plantation Group S, Group A, Group C. Sincerely, a Trump supporter. Maybe it's the Democrats. Maybe they're making these fake messages so that way they feel threatened or intimidated. What will be the purpose of this? What is the grand purpose of this? Hmm? The Democratic message should be utter condemnation. Not a peep. The news has covered it more. Could even be the Heritage Foundation. They've got several organizations, and they definitely feel empowered and emboldened right now. And it's funny because the Heritage Foundation, oh, we're all against collectivism. They hate collectivism. And yet the Heritage Foundation is made up of several companies and organizations, all unified for the exact same message. Sounds like collectivism to me. Read them. Read that. And tell me how we live in a free society. Mind you, it was the United States government that allowed slavery to exist as long as it did. I mean, we could have started a nation off of being absolutely separated from the rest of the world by stating, hey, we're going to be the only country in the world to eliminate our slavery before everybody else does. No, that wasn't the case. Great Britain got rid of their slavery before we did. We had to go to war about it. And if we go to war now, guess who's going to be considered the rebels? You know? This is perfect right here. Just have these tied together. Just random text messages. Black students in Hopkins received racist text messages referencing slavery, district says. Every news agency has covered it. Oh, wait. Oh, Fox News actually cares? What's going on here? Oh. Huh. This is Fox News. FBI confirmed. The FBI is aware of offensive and racist text messages. Federal Communications Commission told the Associated Press it takes this type of targeting very seriously. Told the Associated Press, so they got the story from the Associated Press. Aware of the offensive racist text messages into individual country in contact with the Justice Department and other federal authorities on the matter. And that's it. And they don't feel like they're socially responsible for any of this happening. In at least 11 states, black Americans are receiving texts with references to plantation and slave masters. That's great. That is the representation of a free and fair society. A society where a guy can say, your body, my choice. I'm not even going to refer to the piece of inhumane, piece of trash, garbage, fecal matter. It's amazing how I'm getting comments now. It's I'm getting more response now. Trump 2024. Of all the videos to come on, you have no idea who I am, do you? And you're proud of that. Chiquilita. I wonder, I'm going to go ahead and bring chat up here. Chicolita. I'm going to go ahead and bring them up. There we go. There we go. For the world to see. Chicolita. You wanted attention, right? There you go. Trump 2024. So you're sitting there proud that people of color are receiving racist text messages. That serve absolutely no purpose. Absolutely no purpose. That comment you made served absolutely no purpose. Well, exposed you for celebrating the fact that racism is happening, and you admire it. So whatever. No, I don't really block people on here. I just kind of expose you for the inhumane piece of shit you are. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Now I don't know what this kind of base, not gonna lie, is all about. This seems kind of strange too. Yeah. Women being considered property. That's just kind of based. Yeah. Why? Can you even explain to me why you feel the way that you do? What is it about people of color that just makes you feel so compelled that you want to enact violence against them? You want to violate their liberty. Scream from the rooftops, freedom, freedom, liberty. We love freedom and liberty. For whom? Yourself? And let's see here. Texas State University has already condemned people discussing signs on campus. Texas State University officials and state law were speaking out of an incident Wednesday where two people carried homophobic and misogynistic signs sparking protest. A message to the university community Thursday, Texas State President Callie Damphouse confirmed the demonstrators were not affiliated with the university and continued signs with described as disgusting messages made campus community feel unsafe. So they're not even university students. They're just there. I condemn the hateful words two men wrote and spoke while they were on a campus. That kind of hate is not welcome here. And that's the tweet right there. Probably a risk of getting deleted by Elon himself, but you know, you never know. The incident which occurred shortly after noon Wednesday outside the Johnson Student Center drew a crowd of counter-protesting students. One side displayed what the demonstrators read, "Women are property," according to witnesses. I know he's been caused a wide range of emotion among members of our Bobcat family, including fear, anxiety, and anger. This is particularly upsetting to me because nothing is more important than the health and safety of our faculty, staff, and students. These men made our campus community feel unsafe, and it disturbs me deeply, Damphouse said. State Representative Aaron Zwiner commented the university's response, noting officials protected the free speech rights of both demonstrators and students while maintaining safety. I'm also so proud of the students for speaking back to heinous, misogynistic, racist, and homophobic words of demonstrators. The students respond loudly and with love and support for their fellow students. Twisted Sticks. To quote Shakespeare, something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Just like in that play, this will come back to haunt the Trumpers and with a quickness. Love it. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to feel haunted. The Democratic response from the Democrats is weak sauce at best. It's why I'm an anarchist, because you're not going to count on the Democrats to do anything. What they're expecting is a whole new 4 more years. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know if there's going to be 4 more years. We don't know. Could be 8 years, could be 12 years, could be infinity. We don't know. We obviously can't trust the democratic process because he was properly voted in. So if this is the best that democracy can bring to us, sounds like democracy is a failure if both candidates that we presented are absolutely terrible. I blame the Democrats, and I even blame the leftist response to this. We're going to see that here pretty soon. Dampus explained that as a public university, Texas State is legally required to allow expressive activities in outdoor campus spaces, even by external groups. The university deployed a trained response team of campus police officers to monitor the situation. That's the best they can do. Why am I getting disconnected? Failure of democracy as a result of liberalism or liberal democracy. No, it's democracy. Just democracy in general. It's democracy. I mean, funny, you're not blaming conservatism. Conservatives haven't put them in power. Oh, it's just the liberals. No. Liberals and conservatives. Spokesperson Texas University. All right. I just keep saying I've been connected, chat disconnected. So I mean, though. Severe buyer's remorse will set in. And that's just it. If Trump can oppose plans that hurt both sides, doesn't matter. You've already lost your means of consent. If Trumpers don't want tariffs and high prices and whatever else, I mean, that's basically what the only thing they're focused on is tariffs and high prices. They're not cared about any of this happening. The racism, the blatant, just unleash the floodgates of misogyny and bigotry all around. There's a well-known neo-Nazi going around saying, hey, your body, my choice. I'm not even going to announce that piece of shit's trash name. I'm not even going to do it. But what is the meaning behind that? Why feel so emboldened to say that? I'm referring to a system where a bourgeois system results in reactionary attitudes. Yeah, that's actually the net result in this system. It is a net result. If Democrats win, we still have to appeal to corporate interests. Still have to appeal to corporations. You want to keep prices low? Guess what? Corporations set the prices. Corporations set prices. I would hate for this stream to become the most successful stream, the most commented on ever. I've been streaming for, I think, over 4 years now, and a few comments here and there, but now it's like there's a big, like, oh, wow. Donald Trump's the reason why I'm successful. No, I don't. I refuse to believe that. This is why I'm not going to be doing these streams very sparingly, because I do not want to milk any success off of Donald Trump's existence. I'm not like those leftists on YouTube that, oh, well, now he's in office, we know bad shit's going to happen. We know that Donald Trump's a big cash cow. Better milk him for all he's got. I got to make some money. So, oh, he said something at a UN event the other day that was horrific. Fucking duh. Now to milk it. Oh, buy my book. Buy my book. Go to this website. Get 15% off of this product. Buy these earbuds. Check out this news site. You're capitalizing off of people suffering, and that is disgusting. And that's why I excruciatingly dislike the left. I cannot stand them. I can't stand right-wingers because of this shit, and I can't stand the left. Another reason why I'm an anarchist. True. So, the solution to the price control problem is competition. Do you have any idea how many corporations live? Yes, I do have an idea. Eliminating corporate dependency. I think it's high time that people make communal food again. People need to make community gardens. You need to get away from corporations as much as possible. You need to start making your own products from organic means. Collectively, we can share resources with each other, like it's supposed to be. No real money exchanges hands. It's more like what they call a resource-based economy, which has been paraded around as an idea, as a concept for hundreds of years, I guess you could say. I mean, Karl Marx himself wasn't really a proponent of it because he really didn't have any viable solutions to present to people. He just awakened people to say, hey, where is your labor effort really going to? So, in the last 60, 70 years, 80 years, there's been a few people like Jack Fresco, like our big Mr. Fuller, like Peter Joseph, that have presented some really viable solutions. I mean, yeah, it's a massive reformation effort, but a lot of the models that they present can be utilized within our current system with our current infrastructure. The Native Americans, they kind of had the right idea too. It's weird because politically Native Americans don't really have problems like we do. I went to Cherokee on vacation and visited an ancient Native American community there, a little habitation space, and the buildings. Well, here's one thing. Not only were the buildings built better, you go inside and you see absolutely nobody writing on the walls, writing their names or anything. But if you go to one of our colonial places, where there's absolutely nobody around, of course people are going to write their names. Oh, this particular family was right here. Write all the kids' names down right here on this ancient piece of wood. because we have no respect for for history at all. But you go to this protected community that allows for visitors and says, "Hey, this is how we lived. This is how we survived." Yeah, it's pretty sustainable. We didn't deal in money. We didn't make our species go completely extinct. We kind of minded exactly how much we needed. We utilized every part of an animal. And what ended our survival? Imperialism. So imperialism, the great imperialism, came through. We had guns. We quote unquote innovated, in which case we more focused on making guns because they're more for utilitarian of overtaking complete land masses. You can take over entire tribal communities and declare yourself the winner. And then when a harsh winter comes and you're like, uh-oh, we're out of buffalo skins. What did we do with all our buffalo skins? We sold them all for money. Is there any buffaloes around? No, they're all extinct. Oh, great. How are we going to survive the winter? With capitalism, of course. We'll just simply buy the resources and, well, I suppose we can cut down all the trees and harvest, all the trees around in a certain area and completely decimate entire ecosystems and plop ourselves right down here. And then we'll overwinter, and then when we go over out west, we'll harvest gold, and that's gold that we'll have, and then we can go back east and tell all our friends, and then all our friends are going to come over and say, yeah, let's go get some gold. Monopolies need to be broken up in any system, but capitalism never leaves monopolies. We don't, because it tends for egalitarian societies and value caring for the community and the land we live on. Yeah, true. That's the way it's supposed to be. Once complete disregard for the land has come up, when you have somebody saying drill baby drill, and we've already had in the last election, in the last Trump campaign, what did he say? Oh, we're gonna get rid of the national parks, and we're gonna put some oil derricks in the middle of national parks, protected federal national parks. Yeah, park rangers were not happy. The park rangers, most underrated job you could have. The park rangers were upset. We have a president-elect that has violated the sanctity of Arlington Cemetery. He's been condemned by the United States Army. They actually made a press release. They made a press release. They never do that. And they condemned his campaign for coming out there for an illegal photo op on federally protected lands. Yeah, it's a federal crime to use Arlington Cemetery for political reasons. So that's the guy you wanted. It's the guy that would walk onto the tomb of the unknown soldier and get screamed at, and then still continue to walk around, just being like, "Go ahead, try me." He'd do it. He'd be the guy to do it. Needs his photo up. Got to do his thumbs up on the tomb of the unknown soldier. So not even the sanctity of our military men and women that have lived and died to defend the Constitution, to defend the land and its peoples. That's what you guys wanted. They see the university highest priority safety of our students, staff, and faculty at all times. The public institution, TXST, supports the First Amendment as required by state law to uphold freedom of speech in public areas on our campuses, even if speech from understand and offend some members of our campus community. That's the purpose, point and purpose of why they went there. They had nothing better to do. We've established policies and protocols that allow individual safety to engage in expressive activity on university property conducted within institutional regulations. The incident of San Marcos campus today was instigated by individuals who have no TXST affiliation. Yeah, it's them covering their asses. Camp House said they've developed procedures to keep everyone safe during expressive activity. If there was expressive activity, we can do to keep ourselves and community safe, to include monitoring our own behavior, make sure that we're not violating laws or university policy. Doing things that are assaulting demonstrators can result in you getting in trouble, may incite others to do the same. Yeah. Yep. So they're only there to quote unquote trigger the libs, even though this okay, that free expression, what does it do for you? Well, kind of paints a big target on you. You're not going to be well liked. You're going to be a social pariah. Your social life is done for. Short of, like, being assaulted, you're going to lose everything. You just, nobody's going to want to associate with you. Granted, nobody wants to associate with anarchists, but for very different reasons. Apparently, I'm offensive. And this piece of shit, let's see here, in that picture here, it's an ad. They always got to preface it with an ad. We're not watching ads. Let's see if we can do all three photos here. I want to see. No, if it's not here, we'll have to go to another one. This piece of shit right here. Don't know his name. Don't care to know his name. Just remember his face. Showed up in Cincinnati. Actually, no, this is 2 months ago. So this piece of shit went from Cincinnati to end up over here. Okay, cool. Nice. Do they think it's funny, or are they serious about all that? I believe that they're serious. I believe that they're serious. They are going well out of their way with Bible verses. I think it's both. Oh, yeah. I think that's funny as shit, too. But with the Bible verses, they got a lot of money into this. Official street preaching. It serves no purpose. Just shows you're an asshole. The complete and utter disregard for human life, liberty, freedom. You cannot be a quote unquote advocate for freedom if this is what you believe in. Homosex is sin. Well, so is trimming your beard. Let's see here. Do you think you shaved his beard recently? Looks like he did. I mean, there's a lot of things in the Bible that are considered sin. I think they want to go back to the days when, yeah, you could stone people. You could, throw stones at people, or you could put them to death, as suggested by the Bible, for several different sins. Several of which I'm sure these people have committed in their lifetime. But we're gonna pick and choose. We're gonna cherry pick the Bible a little bit. And then when he sits here and says, "But I espouse the teachings of Jesus." Women are property. Jesus values and respects takes estate women. I mean, kind of a dichotomy there. A weird kind of dichotomy. Yeah, but that's all that's all Old Testament. And they got that whole Testament debate, argument, which also serves no purpose. It's like arguing about Dr. Seuss or any other fairy tale book. Actually, no. I got an idea. We need to derive our entire civilization needs to derive its values from those of the Lord of the Rings series. The Hobbit and the Hobbit is Old Testament. Lord of the Rings is New Testament. What do you think? I think that's how we should arrange our society, right there. That would be perfect. We could do the same thing with Star Wars. The original trilogy, that's Old Testament, and then the modern trilogy, that's New Testament. And then there's like the non-modern, but we're gonna forget about that one. Actually, people want to forget about the one in the middle there, from the late 90s. We want to forget about that one too. But yeah, let's just derive all of our societal values from some book series, and that'll solve some problems. I find it funny the way the ones that preach the book or it says do no harm want to harm others for being different from them. Well, the irony being is that the book itself kind of contradicts itself, because it suggests that sinners need to be put to death, but in the same book says do no harm, turn the other cheek, learn tolerance, all that stuff. Guess what happened to your body? My choice. Boy, he's hiding in his mama's basement now. Yeah, he got doxxed. Yeah. He also used mace on a lady, which is something else I want to tell you, people. Get mace, get tasers, get any sort of personal protection equipment. Personal protection equipment I can't even state on YouTube or TikTok or any of those other places where you're not allowed to talk about certain personal protection equipment for your own self-defense. People who knew him spilled all the tea live and in color. Well, you can't be really an advocate for doxing, because if he gets doxed, they dox us. A Ohio State sheriff actually declared that, and I might even show that. That one's also a fun one. I just remember that one. Ooh. Here we go. I'm going to get rid of this. Make sure to put this as a non-ad here. Okay. There we go.
Controversy over a social media post. The Portage County Sheriff. Controversy over a social media post. The Portage County Sheriff under fire following his post regarding Harris Waltz yard signs. The sheriff asked residents to write down the addresses of homes with campaign signs supporting the Democratic ticket. Our Kimberly Perez explains why the sheriff says he wants to know where they live and how both political parties are responding.
We need to stand up against this sheriff. Voter intimidation is illegal, and it has no place in our friendly little county.
There are a number of signs in Patricia Urie's front yard. Her biggest one shows her support for the Kamala Harris and Tim Walz campaign.
I was so excited to get such a big one because we want to support this campaign.
A recent social media post by Portage County.
Hey, you guys didn't get big enough signs. If only we got bigger signs. I mean, if it was like a gigantic sign, such as the one like posted on the side of a water tower like they did for Trump, or one resident did for Trump, which by the way is illegal because you can't display your voting preference on somebody else's property. only we had a bigger sign. It's not because of Kamala Harris's absolutely useless rhetoric. It wasn't because of Kamala Harris's vague social economic plans, which would still have to appeal to corporations. It wasn't even Kamala Harris's reaction to what's happening in Gaza. The Democrats are weak. And they will always be weak. Democrats aren't anarchists. There have been more anarchists that have fought for this nation's freedom than a Democrat ever will. Ever. Tolkien was an anarchist, said so himself. There you go. Best book. Hey. It's better than that what's her name? A Harry Potter woman. let's just completely just nameless. All neo-Nazis are nameless.
County Sheriff Bruce Zukowski has left her second guessing. Zukowski mocks Harris's laugh and refers to immigrants as locusts. The post suggests people write down the addresses of homes with Harris wall sign in their yards. So when immigrants need a place to live, they'll have the addresses of people who support their arrival. The post isn't sitting well with some Harris supporters in Portage County, including the head of the Portage County Democratic Party.
Any elected official, especially in law enforcement, that makes statements that are intended to intimidate and bully voters should be voted out of office and fired from their position. They don't deserve to be in that position.
They should just be fired from their position. They don't need to be voted out of office because you can't trust the population to make smart decisions. Look where we're at.
The sheriff isn't talking about the post, but he does have the support of the Portage County Republican Party.
Oh.
He and we.
There's your priorities, folks. Dox your local voters that didn't vote for your favor. Oh my God, that flag in the back. What is that? Is that a bunch of piss stains? Looks like it's been pissed on.
Are very concerned about illegal aliens and illegals in a variety.
Oh, I didn't realize they were aliens. I thought they were human beings. What defines them as being illegal again? What? Oh shit! I forgot. It's a complete and utter lack of paperwork. That's what defines you as an American citizen is paperwork. You know, your birth certificate, which, by the way, your birth certificate is not a declaration of your citizenship, but more of a declaration of your corporatehood. Yeah, that's your corporate identity. It establishes you as a corporation in the United States. Look it up. So really, do we live in a free country or not? I'm just wondering, because it seems to me like, well, a bunch of immigrants can come across, hundreds of years ago. There was no United States Customs when those ships came over here. They came over here with a bunch of other illegal immigrants, particularly people of color. Those people of color needed to work for the people that weren't colored. There were also illegal immigrants because, again, no paperwork. Nobody showed up with any paperwork, with the expectation and the prospect of saying, hey, this is now our land. Oh, they're worried about other people doing that to them. Okay. So it is racism. Okay. They're just worried about retribution. Okay, just making sure. Forget red states, blue states, make all maps turn yellow like she did with her flag. Hey, turn them red and black.
variety of counties and in Portage County specifically. So maybe he took artistic license as he was trying to get a point across, and that point then got the attention that he was looking for.
As for Yuri, she's proud to make her voice heard and has no plans to take down her signs. And she's hoping others won't back down either. Hoping other plans to take down her signs.
Keep Kennedy. Okay.
Plans to take down her signs. And she's hoping others won't back down either.
We feel it's time to stand up and,
there you go.
and make our voices heard.
Kimberly Perez, Spectrum News.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource.
Yeah, Spectrum News is pretty... There's a lot of things on Spectrum News I didn't even know what was going on. Somebody bought a old abandoned factory and wants to turn it into a tool library of sorts. And the one place I heard about it was on Spectrum News. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's called... I think it's called like The Forge or something. I have to look it up like again and see if I can even find it. But in the meantime, I want to show you the leftist response to all this post-election drama that's going on. Actually, this is immediately after the election. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to watch YouTube videos without watching an ad, Loop2.io breaks ads. If you watch it filtered on another site, they can't post ads, so it doesn't break up the video.
Well, at the time that I record this video, the race was just called in Pennsylvania for Donald Trump, and even...
Hang on, I gotta pause this. What was wild was determined that aliens do exist, no one bad and I less, but immigrants, oh no. Because the two words combined, illegal alien, those are words meant, they are designed to pull the humanity out of it. They don't define you as human. They don't define you as undocumented. They define you as already being criminal without a trial, without due process. Anybody that comes into the country innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Anybody that comes in the country, they can come into the country. What's the worst that's going to happen? A misdemeanor? Literally a misdemeanor? If you're seeking asylum, you have to come into the country. That is the process. That is the process. I repeat, that is the process of becoming a legal immigrant in the United States. You have to come into the country. Doesn't matter if you come through a port of entry. That does not matter. Your personhood is not defined by your producthood. Your personhood is defined by your existence. You don't have to admit to anybody that you did not come through a legal port of entry. You go down to the immigration office. Are they going to ask you, oh, did you come here legally through a legal means of port of entry? Well, I live in the United States. There's this thing called Fifth Amendment, and I know you're going to really hate it. I don't have to incriminate myself. I'm going to answer a few questions. We answer a few questions. Where did you come from? Where did you go? I've been here a long time ago. And really, I mean, the whole open borders thing. What are we worried about? A line in the sand? That's all we're arguing about, is a line in the sand. Well, how are we going to define nationhood? I don't know. Is nationalism really a useful kind of emotion to have? Yeah, but laws. Yeah, I guess when you have those state borders there, you can say, well, at this border, you're allowed to have these rights. But in this border here, you can't have those rights. But if you want to have rights, you need to move from this border to this border, and then you can have rights that this border here doesn't have, in a country that likes to define itself as being free, but at the same time can sit there and determine your rights, your own bodily autonomy rights, on the basis of state by state by state, whether the opinions of somebody you've never met apply in this border here, or whether the opinions of somebody you've never met apply in this border here. So if you go to this one, the opinions of the people who live here are somehow more libertarian, more freedom focused than this over here, which they want to say that you are now property. Do you see how it doesn't make sense? Are you starting to see why I'm an anarchist? See, with anarchy, it's funny because with anarchy, there is no government to tell you what you can and can't do. People can't elect an official to oversee the opinions of everybody else, impose those opinions on you, and vice versa. Which means if you want to be a conservative asshole and think that women are inhumane and are property, and you believe you have rights to women, guess what, bitch? Those opinions of yours only apply to yourself. A woman would go up to you and say, go fuck yourself, with a hot iron rod. No, you do not have any dominion over me. No, I am not property. Your opinion is all your own, and you cannot elect an official to impose those beliefs on me, no matter what. Perks of being an anarchist. Oh, but that does not underpower yourself, because then it just all goes into chaos, and everyone would start shooting each other. We have a nation full of people that are willing to go to war right now for that motherfucker. We have a nation full of people right now that believe you do not have the right to speak out against that motherfucker. We live in a nation right now where there are people in there that say calling him a motherfucker is paramount to treason. Your freedom of speech ends at his feet. Do you think the government's going to help you? Do you think the government's going to step in and say, no, you can't incarcerate all those protesters that are pro-Gaza? You can't do that. That's their freedom of speech. That's their First Amendment rights. The Democrats are so weak that, nah, they'd sell you out. They'd sell you out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anarchists, on the other hand, that's your last means of defense. Literally, physically being defended. You don't think Trump truckers are going to come along and say, well, I know where this guy lives. You don't think they'll dox us? Doxing a well-known neo-Nazi is going to lead to retribution. It's going to lead to retaliation. Do you have a battle plan? Do you have anything? Do you have any sort of strategy to defend and protect yourself? You don't? Okay. We're using bed blaze for bypass ads. Paste the video at the end of the bed link to show it. Okay, so I keep the cartels away. The cartels that are sponsored by our United States, by the way. Those cartels, no, they're going to continue to exist. The cartels bring in a lot of money. They bring in a lot of money. Why get rid of the product that gives the United States like a lot of money? They're not going to stop the cartels. They want the drugs so they can go ahead and resell them. What is an anarchist? Easy. No rulers. Anarchist means anti-archy, which means no overrulers, no kings, no presidents. I guess you say no representative officials in place, because the anarchists certainly don't feel like they're being represented. No corporations, especially no leaders that are sponsored by corporations. Yeah, someone against any form of government. Okay, so anarchists change up the meta. The government likes them, pretty much. Literally, Putin's representative go over his travels, tiny spaces, finding arbitrary rules about some banal such as boiled eggs and which end to open. Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of books about it. Me, when YouTube released my message about the first Red Scare, including anarchists. Yeah, that's another thing. Ironically, this country, McCarthyism existed. McCarthyism was a direct violation of the Constitution, direct violation of people's First Amendment rights for freedom of expression, i.e., being a communist or anarchist. We hold the world record. We hold the world record. Okay, you thought every other country, every other imperialist nation on Earth was as bad as was worse than the United States? Was as bad or worse? No. We hold the world record of bombing an entire country, the most amount of bombs ever launched on a country ever in human history. Ever. That little tiny country is Laos. Children are still being blown up. It's not mince words here. They're being maimed. They're being just killed by anti-personnel mines dropped in Laos to this day. And it was all over one little word. One little word made Republicans piss their pants. Communism. That one little word. What's the deal with the thumbnail? Why I'm an anarchist. That shit doesn't happen in a free and fair country. Also, fun fact: Supreme Court said the second Red Scare, the freedom of speech can be taken away if speech threatens the powerful. Why the fuck do we even bother having elections? Do you see what the fuck I mean? Can't say government on YouTube without it getting it deleted. Yeah, I've noticed that. Certain words, certain catchphrases. But I'm going to shut the fuck up for a minute and let this play out.
Though the election itself has not been called at the time that I record this, Kamala Harris has no path to victory. And as it stands right now, unless something drastically changes, Donald Trump is going to become the next president of the United States. So, I'm not going to give you my analysis. I'm not going to talk about what got us to this point, why this happened. I'm not going to be a political commentator. I'm just going to react as a human being, just like all of you, because I don't have all the answers, and we're going to have to parse out the data and figure out what exactly went wrong, why she specifically lost, how did Trump get much more support than we anticipated. You know, there's a lot of polls that were wrong. The Seltzer poll was wrong. Lichtman with the 13 keys, definitely wrong. I'm not going to talk about any of that right now. I'm just going to react as a human being. And I've got to say, I am stunned and gutted, but not necessarily surprised. I was feeling okay going into Election Day. I think that I was huffing the hopium that a lot of other people was huffing, but I still, in my gut, felt like Trump was going to win. I had a sick feeling about this, but I thought, no, it's got to be Kamala because it's Donald Trump. He's a rapist. He's a felon. And America, they don't...
What if you had power? What would you do then spike government? If I had power, delve it out to the people. Say, hey, you know, give it up. If I have power, I could suggest the only thing I do is promote different solutions to global problems here. You know, how are we going to eliminate pollution? How are we going to eliminate polluted drinking water? How are we going to eliminate food shortages? And it's like, well, the solutions are blatantly obvious. We still produce food. We produce an excess of food. Well, why do we still have hunger then? Distributionalism. It's we have a shitty distribution network. We also hoard it because, well, it's food and we need to be able to sell it, even though at the end of the day it makes no sense to sell food. You're forcing people to purchase a product that they're going to need for their survival. That's why community gardens, you cannot charge a single dime for community gardens. I think groceries could be better rearranged for farmers markets. Think of those big events and conventions and stuff that people go to. And this is what I love about the model. It's like you could take that model of everybody standing around a kiosk trying to sell anime prints, and you're still standing around trying to sell anime prints, versus going to your local grocery store, and it'd be exactly the same way. It's set up like a convention center, and each and every kiosk has the person that grew the food, or at least a representative from that farm, because there's some old people that maybe not be as mobile as they'd like, and be able to go around and go to these places, and so they have a representative from that farm, and he stands there and he's like, hey, this is what we grow. It's our healthy tomato. It's completely no soil, hardly any water. This is what we won't grow. And they're not selling it to you per se. They're just saying, hey, this is what we've grown. Are within competition with each other? No, because one farm's still growing that thing. You just pick and choose what farm you want to pull it from. They can grow in excess of food. That's not difficult. We could even make the farming industry by itself, the cattle industry, livestock, all that. We could definitely alleviate the load it has right now of millions and millions of head of livestock just in the most barren of conditions, without very much medical care or attention or anything. We could make it a lot more humane, because if we do waste that much food, kind of makes the meat industry a little bit pointless when we throw away so much food. That's one wasted animal. We hardly utilize anything that we do have as far as livestock. dog food, maybe. I mean, the meat industry is not going to necessarily go away, because if you do own pets, you can't really put them on an all natural vegan diet. You can't do it. Some animals do require some meat. You got to give them meat. Cats definitely have a really particular sensitivity to an all vegetable diet. You got to get them meat. You have to. So yeah, the meat industry is not going to go away, but it can be a hell of a lot more sustainable than it is now. Distribution resources require power to organize and maintain, though. I may be wrong, though. Well, the thing is, it's all a matter of, if elections are a matter of collectivism of, what candidate that you want, then distribution of resources, that can also be handled through collectivism. I'm telling you right now, $500 million towards Kamala's campaign. If somebody had $500 million, could have easily fixed all the problems in this country before this motherfucker would even come into office. We would say there would be no point for a Trump campaign. There would be no point for Trump to have an office. Why? We fixed all the problems. We got rid of inflation. We got rid of the centralized bank. We got rid of the Federal Reserve. Why would we want to go back? Why do we want somebody in office that people feel so empowered to stand by their racism and their bigotry? They feel so empowered and emboldened. I mean, I don't understand how racism and bigotry are the two aspects of America that Americans feel needed to be empowered, not themselves. I don't know how they felt those two facets were more important than empowering their own selves, utilizing their own existence to benefit humanity. I mean, look what I'm doing. I'm doing a live stream about this. And I know that this guy, the Humanist Report, he doesn't know I exist. Is he going to sit there and help his fellow leftists garner resources in order to survive? Hell no. Why would he do that? He's got all the means in the world to do it. I don't even know how it's going to show. It probably won't. I got the original up here, actually. 491,000 subscribers? I think you might have lost some. But 491,000 subscribers. That's a lot of power. Out of 491,000 people, at least one of them has to have some semblance of resources enough to say, hey, yeah, let's try something different. Let's try something else. I would love to have 491,000 subscribers. That'd be awesome. Because guess what? I wouldn't need money. I'm gonna tell you something. I wouldn't need any money. Granted, I got to keep roof over my head and the internet running and electricity and all the bills. But that's me trying to satisfy somebody else that they love money. They want money. What I need is just my needs met and resources, and we can easily make ourselves independent. Think just in your daily life, think of all the resources that you utilize on a daily basis within your own household and tell yourself, wait a second, do I really have to go to work? I could automate everything that I have here. My electricity bill, solar panels, We have new technologies coming out that will make your house completely independent from the grid. They've existed for a long, long time. Separating yourself from the grid, yeah, there's that. Your internet, telecommunications, a little bit different, and kind of rely on corporations there for a little bit, but there are people with free server spaces. There's ways of doing it. I mean, Elon had the right idea. He could have made Starlink freely available for everyone. He's not going to. What else you got? Water, natural springs, collecting rainwater, stuff like that. There's something called ram pumps. Yeah, you could do that. Food, yeah, community gardens, composting your own. I'm gonna say it. You're composting your own fecal matter. You're composting your shit. And intentional communities have been doing it for decades. Just look how the intentional communities, how they live. And say to yourself, I could do that within my own confines. A shipping container, a yurt, one of them Amazon fold-out houses. You don't need a big-ass house. Yeah, it could be considered minimalism. But what are you doing? You're leaving yourself away from dependency on corporations. Logistics, yeah. I mean, shit, look at Gaza. Gaza's reliant on external factors. They're reliant on trucks from out of the country to come in. They're not allowed to grow their own food. They have no liberty. And if they don't have no liberty, how can you say that, oh, well, they're the aggressor? When you have nothing, no electricity, no running water, you're stuck in an open air prison. But no, what's happening to them? That can't possibly be genocide. Nah. They're the aggressor. This little tiny sliver of land is going to destroy this big government-sponsored, bigger land. So threatening. I mean, Israel would have to be dismantled politically. Its statehood no longer recognized by the UN. The contract that established it completely nullified. The Balfour Declaration. It's nullified. They can't even abide by the Balfour Declaration.
I don't like felons, right? It's just, I can't fathom my country doing this. But they did. They rolled the dice. And now Donald Trump will take office and the guardrails are off. He will have immunity. We're going to see RFK Jr. and Elon Musk in government. It is a very bleak situation. And I know all of you watching, you may be trans, you may be in a marginalized community, you may be a woman or a woman of color, or just somebody who's vulnerable to a Trump presidency. And I don't have the words that's going to make you feel better. And I can't tell you that everything is going to be fine, but let me just say, it's going to be okay. Just for right now, there's time before he assumes office. We have a couple of months. Just for right now, stop.
Everything's going to be just fine before he takes office. Everything will be fine before he takes office. Then after he takes office, it's all going to go to shit. Welcome to the cancer diagnosis. You have 2 months to live. Just tell him that. You have 2 months to live.
Take a deep breath and realize in this moment you are okay. And you're going to be okay.
No, we're
Maybe
already getting attacked.
Looks radically different in 4 years. Maybe the country doesn't survive Donald Trump and democracy doesn't survive Donald Trump. But as an individual, you're going to be okay. What you should do in the meanwhile, start organizing, start getting to know people who are in a similar situation as yourself.
Should have done that like a long time ago. But yeah, let's start organizing. Yeah. What's his solution? Listen to this.
Start getting to know your neighbors. Organize with local leftists.
Certain neighbors. Be careful who you talk to or who you associate with, because you never know. Your next door neighbor might want you dead. So, the Hollis Ware signs, they're Harris Wall signs, they're gonna be pulled up. Okay, so rainbow flag, kind of like your best bet of somebody that shares kind of like your core ideal values and doesn't really want you, dead, because they're facing the exact same situation here. Anarchy flags, maybe Antifa flags. They're gonna be next best bet. You can't just rely on somebody saying a Harris Wallace flag or the signage, because even some Democrats are open bigots. So yeah, and there's some sirens going on outside. Oh my god, I don't even know if you can hear this. It's just shit's probably going down outside right now, and I'm missing it. But at the end of the day, protect yourself. Get some means of protection for yourself. Sandbags, garrisons, no.
And political activists, just take the time to build up rapport with people in your community. That is, I think, the most constructive thing that you can do in the interim between now and when he assumes office. Just try to organize in the sense that you get in contact with people.
Okay.
I think that if somebody is vulnerable in one state, then having a resource, having somebody you can depend on another state, having a buddy, I think that's going to be really important. On top of that, I would recommend...
He's got a point. Network, transportation networks especially. There's going to be a lot of people wanting to flee the states that they live in to go to a different state. Help them out. Kind of the reason why I kind of want to buy a pickup truck. And if this channel takes off, I mean, we're going to have content. I'm hoping that the content will be able to pay for everything. I'm hoping that YouTube itself and through ad revenue, collectively from all these leftists on YouTube, because that's the way it's going to have to be. Collectively, shit's going to have to change. If you have money on YouTube, if you're getting, you have 400,000 subs, you have a responsibility to your viewership. If you want shit to change, that's how you do it. Don't rely on politicians. You can't rely on Kamala Harris. You can't rely on the Democratic Party. It's not going to happen. I think the worst way to piss off a Republican is to just live outside of their realm. Live within a means to where they cannot control you. Actually, no. I won't accept your money. I want that money, any money, to go into a collective bank. I wouldn't even know how to set one up. But I'm sure there's somebody that would. And I want that money to go to a collective bank, an interest-free bank that has a cyclical income model, possibly even automated income model, to where money keeps just getting pumped in through ad revenue, through computer learn. I mean, seriously, you could do this. Computer learning algorithms that they have, like, you can set your computer up to be put on a network for algorithm learning, and just, you know, your computer's being used as a processor on the network. You get paid for that. Let me get back to you. Hell, I might have to interview you myself. But yeah, collective bank, everybody has access to it. I mean, you know, within membership, and your projects that you're gonna want to loan for, interest free, of course. They have to be, I guess you could say, democratically agreed upon. You can't just sit there and go in there and say, well, I want to. I'm trying to think of what's the worst thing a Republican could do. Is like, I want to set up a news agency where I can talk shit about the leftists that are destroying the country. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. 2024 is looking like 1924. Same reasons, we're all saying the same thing. This time, though, people are going to be able to watch it every time. Actually, I said in a post on Facebook, I said, we're not going back to the 1950s. We're going back to the 1750s. This isn't going to look like 1924. This is going to look like 1724. Women are already being told that they are property. Donald Trump he is seeking to stay in office perpetually. Like a king. You know, because there was no constitution. There was no restrictions on his power. There was no restrictions on King George's power. Thus, what's the restriction on Donald Trump's power? The Constitution? The Constitution is just going to sit there in a glass box collecting dust. It does nothing. It can't do anything unless the people enable it to. Ta-da! And when the Democratic Party keeps on selling out the American people, they just keep on doing it. Do you honestly think that in 4 years, who's our best candidate? I want you to really think about it, because we got 4 years to think about it. Who is our best candidate from the Democratic Party? Who do we have? Kamala Harris? No. Tim Walz was a better candidate than she was. Tim Walz could have easily won the election. And even if we lost, Tim Walz makes quite a bit more sense than she does. Tim Walz got shit done within his own home state. Who do we have? It's all corpo speak weakness. At the end of the day, you are voting for your favorite corporation. Oh, we got a suggestion already. John Galt. Never heard of him. Think he's going to win an election? I've never heard of him. I didn't vote. I'm an anarchist. Try to convince an anarchist to vote Democrat. Try to convince an anarchist to vote completely against their best interests. To go and elect, go vote. Then we gotta go and serve in jury duty, and imagine being you're in a room with 11 other people. The potential. I mean, you gotta do the lottery on it. You got 11 people. Out of those 11 people, you're the guy that says, "Hey, what's the crime here?" Oh, he smoked something. Oh God. Oh, he violated his own bodily autonomy. Let's throw him in prison. Right? You know, you got all the resources to get the guy clean, but nah, let's throw him in prison. Let's waste more of our resources and tax dollars. That's fucking genius. I love jury duty, being the only one in the whole audience. And believe me, I went to court before. I went to jury duty once. The judge even asked me, "Does anybody have any preconceived notions about marijuana usage?" Yeah, I do. I do, Your Honor. Oh, well, you go ahead and leave. Because if I didn't declare that, I might be in, perjury, because I'll be lying to the judge about not having preconceived notions. So you got to be honest in there and say, yeah, somebody's smoking marijuana. Yeah, that's a non-crime. Name the victim. You have to name a victim. The accused has a right to face their accuser. Oh, it's the state. Okay, it's the state that's accusing him. So he needs to face every single person living within the state. And, yeah, it makes no sense, does it? Georgia was just crazy. I didn't vote because the only person I would vote for isn't real. Hatsune Miku. Hey, by the way, Hatsune Miku is a minor, but also, she'd have to be like, what's minimum age? 40 years old to be in the office of the presidency. So Hatsune Miku. Oh, and Hatsune Miku she's Japanese. No, can't do it. Under the purview of the Constitution, Hatsune Miku does not qualify. Steve Saylor. I mean, I could show his videos off again. Do we really need a president? Hell, I got some new audience members. I just want this motherfucker to keep talking.
That you update your passport. I don't necessarily
Rewind that.
I think that's going to be really important. On top of that, I would recommend that you update your passport.
Update your passport, people. Flee the country. And a country that's in danger of losing its constitution, it's best to just pussy out and just leave the country. Do you understand? This is the leftist mantra right here. This is the solution presented by yours truly, the absolute leftist pinnacle right here. No, don't buy means of protection for yourself or your family. Don't bother starting an armory or some means of form of protection for you, because what's going to happen is Trumpers are going to, you honestly think that Trumpers are going to just stop because you have a passport? You do realize that leaves the rest of us that maybe don't have passports or don't have really a means to getting out of the country with nowhere else to go and nobody to rely on. Yeah, this is why I'm an anarchist. I have to stay in country. What would be of me if I just said, fuck it, flee. Go somewhere else. Become a political refugee. Okay, so you move to Canada. All right. What do you got? Well, you got your passport and the clothes on your back and some things in a bag. All right. So you're Searching emissary now. Okay, what are we doing here? Do you have a job? Well, I did. I had one in the States. Oh. Well, we don't really have any jobs up here. Oh. Do you have a place to stay in the United States? Yeah, but I got to get out of the United States. Oh. Well, we don't really have any very many places to live up here. Do you have any money? No, not really. It took a lot out of me just to move up here. I needed money for the flight, or I just came up here. I don't really have a whole lot of money because my job sucks. Well, the job I had, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't really have any money. Okay. What's your education? GED. Oh, okay. Do you have any skills at all? Not really. I just got out of high school. Oh, okay. Do you have any prospects? No, not really. I just go on the internet and do things. Do you guys have any jobs? No, we don't have any jobs. Oh, so what am I gonna do to be able to live? Oh, you probably should have thought of that before you came up here, eh? Oh, so I don't have any options. That's true. You don't have any options at all. So coming up here was a mistake. Yeah, you could say it was a mistake. And politically, Trump is just going to say, well, look at him flee. Look at him go. They're all becoming illegal immigrants in another country. And then all those countries. See, do you see how immigration's bad? Because they're influxing into those other countries and causing big problems. Do you see why we don't like immigrants? And in the same vein, Jews had to flee Poland. So when you get told, man, I'm so glad those leftists are leaving the country, fuck them people. You might as well just go around espousing the JQ. You might as well just say, fuck those Jews in Poland. I'm so glad those Jews in Poland are leaving. I'm so glad Germany invaded Poland. Yeah, we're gonna take back Europe. Same breath. It's the exact same drawn parallel. That's how you feel about them. That's why Barnes partnership needs to go. If you're only voting for your team, you're already forgotten all the players are free agents to be traded at any time. Yep, Jill Stein. Jill Stein couldn't even condemn Putin for his war crimes. Always be a free agent until someone shows you the money. But exactly, that's how it functions in a country. It's a conglomerate. Yeah, this is not a country. This is a corporation. The United States of America Corporation. Society versus population. Who do you want to be a part of? Society is subjective. I mean, that could be. Society is defined. They literally say, well, in order to be part of society, you need to pay taxes. You need to contribute. Why? I just exist. I mean, contributionalism, that could be anything. You could build a machine to do all the work that you would do. Funny thing about that, if you automate, where's your contributionalism? Art, entertainment, culture. Fucking make baskets. I don't care. Remember that Mario latchkey thing? Yeah, I could make that. While something else is doing the hard labor, the work. If it's doing the work, that alleviates my obligation. Thus, what the hell is contributionalism if it can all be automated? Did we ask Bob Ross? Well, I think Bob Ross needed to quit painting. I really think that Bob Ross needed to quit painting. I think that his painting was a complete waste of time. It contributed nothing to society. Do you understand how psychotic that sounds? Bob Ross contributed nothing to society as a painter. He should have worked his ass off as a factory worker in some third world state in the Appalachians with hardly anything to his name. No money, hardly a place to live, whatever. Because his art, we don't consider his art to be contributional to living in society. Which I'm sure that Bob Ross paid taxes. No, I think the really fucked up part about Bob Ross's life is that he got fucked over by the own production company. Yeah, look that story up. Look up the story of the Bob Ross estate. You will be floored. Nikola Tesla, he ain't contributed nothing to society. Fuck that guy, he only invented the radio. Society versus population. Which do you want to be a part of? A collective community, I guess you could say. We're all looking out for each other.
I don't necessarily think it's going to come to a point where you need to flee the country, but we don't know how bad things are going to get. And I think that being ready, especially if you're in a vulnerable community, is going to be really important. And it pains me to say that, and I don't want to scare you. But
being ready with what means? If he's not saying getting personal protection equipment.
Just in case, update your passport. Just have that ready. It's better to be safe than sorry. Again,
there's some people who understand you wouldn't want to have to bear the responsibility. I get that. You don't want to have to bear the responsibility of protecting yourself and your neighbors. In which case, yes, do get your passport updated and see what you can do, what your options are. Get everything in order, save some money, do what you can. I don't want you to have to deal with the personal responsibility. I don't want to have to deal with the personal responsibility. But while I'm in country, I'm going to see what I can do. No, I will not be contributing to the next Democratic election. That's dumb. That's stupid. Vosh, another YouTuber, wasted our fucking time. Are we going to fix the United States? How are we going to do it? Oh, we should just do canvassing. Vosh has more than enough power on YouTube to do some really socially responsible activism, very socially responsible contributions to infrastructure building. He could have done a whole lot. He could have done a whole fucking lot. Now let's canvass for Kamala Harris. Because Kamala Harris is going to definitely alleviate our burden to the corporations. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's just look at her oh, wait. Oh, that's her sponsor list? Oh. Oh, but at least she was endorsed by Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift pulled herself up by her own bootstrap. You know, she's a self-made woman, as we've been told over and over and over and over again. She's a self-made. Oh wait, Taylor Swift comes from money. Oh. Huh. So who do we have that's honest? Well, I'll show you in the stream, but right now let's just keep this guy going.
Fearmongers scare you, but just have that ready. Put aside a little bit of money if you can to save up in case you need to flee your state. So right now,
you don't have a plan, do you? And you save up a little bit of money, people. Save up whatever money that you have. Yeah, save that up. Don't put it in a collectivist bank or anything. Don't put it into something to where people like this guy, this fuck right here on screen, that has more than enough wealth, I'm sure, could easily contribute, well, what, $5,000 a year maybe, and dump it into the, or at least even set up a charity to where, hey, money goes in, this goes to we're making our own bank. We're making our own bank. We're making our own bank. We have no intention of really making money or profiting off of this. This is all just a means of survival for ourselves. Save up some money though. Save up. Take this guy's advice. Save your money. There couldn't be no culture without art. It's literally how society functions. Oh, the fucking fun part. Twisted. The fucking fun part. We don't give a flying fuck about immigrants. Leftists, listen to the rhetoric. We don't give a flying fuck about immigrants. This whole campaign was all about how they contribute to society through their labor and what they contribute in taxes. That's it. Not one word was mentioned. Hey, what about art and culture? Did anybody bother to look up Haitian art and culture? No? Huh. That's weird. So really, what do you care about immigrants? Well, they go to work. Wow. U.S. Senate results: 42 Dem, 51 GOP, majority, lost 2 seats. Yep, gained 2 seats. How's your consent feeling right now? I mean, do you honestly believe in the value of consent? Because it seems to me like my consent is being violated. I didn't consent to this. And believe me, I can get a leftist to sit there and admit they don't give a fuck about consent. The left and the right do not care about your consent. Or else they'd be advocates for it. They'd be advocates for consensus. Consensus. It's got the word consent in it.
Now, as it stands, Republicans have also taken back the Senate, but Democrats have a chance to hold on to the House. That would be really important. So just try to do your best to prepare. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Don't be a doomer. Don't become a doomsday prepper, but just...
Don't become a doomsday prepper. Yeah, don't have food available to yourself. Don't buy a bunch of personal protection equipment. I'm not going to say the word. I can't say it. They will shut this channel down for advocating for violence. No. Self-defense. I'm an advocate for self-defense. Unless, of course, they're Israel, in which case you don't have self-defense. Really? Yeah. You just kind of plopped yourself right in there and said, well, people, this is mine now. Why are you touching me, bro? Why are you touching me, bro? Bro, and then he fucking punches the guy in the face. And then the guy punches back. Look. He's violating my right to self-defense. That's Israel. Israel is that asshole that goes on the subway, stinking a high hell. He knows he fucking stinks. He stinks on purpose because that's his mantra. And then decides to just plop himself right between 2 passengers and just, oh, this is my seat now. I mean, he spreads his legs. He's got his legs over and just kind of just being a general asshole. And when people don't like that and they retaliate, oh, I'm the victim. Yeah. But no, keep going on about don't be prepared for anything.
Make sure that you are ready for shit to get a little bit crazy, and expect it to get crazy. You know, expect to see protests. Expect Donald Trump to act.
We're gonna fix this country. We're gonna fix it. I know how exactly we're gonna fix the country. I know exactly how we do it. Forget generating any sort of resources or infrastructure for yourself and your community. Forget all that. No. The best thing we could do to fix this country overnight. I got it. Protests. They proved so successful in the past. Holy crap, protests. Do you know what stopped the Revolutionary War? You're going to love this. You know what stopped it? Do you want to know what stopped the British Army from invading people's homes in the United States when they were trying to separate themselves from England after the Declaration of Independence? Do you know what stopped them dead in their tracks? Oh, you're going to love this. It was protests. Hold up a sign that says shit is bad right now. Yeah, we get it. Do you think it's going to fall on people that are going to listen? No, it's going to fall on deaf ears. They don't give a fuck about you. Your community might. So ask your local homosexual business to say, hey, what are we going to do? No, seriously, ask them. Ask your local homosexually owned business. Streaming. Ask your local business what they're going to do, what their solution's going to be. So you ask them and see what their solutions are. Protesting? If they're not going to host a safe place for you to live and survive, it's literally as far as leadership. Okay, yeah.
Like a buffoon. But throughout all of this, understand that as you watch your television and you see him as president again and you're feeling horrified, understand that that feeling that you're feeling, you're not the only one. All of us are feeling it. So it might not change the situation, but kind of understand that you're not suffering alone. There are millions of people in this country who haven't lost their minds, who didn't vote for 99% Hitler and don't want fascism. And together, I think that it's important that we acknowledge as a group, you know, we're all experiencing this the same way, and just knowing that other people are feeling the fear that you're feeling, I think that that can kind of help us to deal with it a little bit. So just kind of keep that in mind. And it's not just that there are people who feel what you're feeling right now, the disappointment, the horror, the shock, the disillusionment with the country itself, and just not really feeling like you belong in this country. You thought you knew the country, but just feels like you're not welcome. If you're feeling that, understand you are not
None
alone.
of us are welcome.
And there are people like me who will continue to speak out and use this platform to criticize Donald Trump and hold him accountable and let you know what he does with the power that he just won. I will do that until I can no longer do it, until he takes away my right to exercise my free speech. I don't know if that's going to happen.
That's it. Are you going to defend to the death your right to free speech? Are you literally going to let Donald Trump take away your constitutional right to freedom of speech without a fight? Law be damned. Certain unalienable rights, including the freedom to speech. Freedom of speech. That's like enshrined in the Constitution. And if it's not going to protect you, you have to. You have to protect yourself. This guy's gonna roll over, belly up. Come on, bro. 491,000 subscribers. And what are you going to tell them? Well, I'm no longer allowed to broadcast on this anymore. Fuck it, dude. Keep going. If it pisses people off, good.
But it could. But I will be here to criticize him and hold him accountable for as long as I possibly can. I think that I would probably be classified as the enemy within, since I'm a very public person. And that's not going to deter me from speaking my mind. I'm not going to cower in fear to fascism because that's
yeah, you will.
What they want. I'm going to speak my mind. And I am going to hold this administration accountable to the extent that I can with this platform until I physically cannot do that anymore. I'm not going to back down. And you shouldn't either. If you're watching this video, there are people in...
You just told us that we need to get our passports renewed and updated and flee the country. You just said that. So...
in the comments... who are feeling the way that you do, talk to each other. If you have a Twitter account or a Threads account, talk to each other. Reach out to each other. Yes. Don't be afraid to actually say to somebody that I'm not okay right now and I'm genuinely worried. Here's my situation. Yes. I think that it's okay to grieve a little bit and to wallow a little bit, but understand that there's going to be a point.
Talk to your boss that voted completely against your best interest because he hates you. He knows you work there, but he hates you. Talk to him and say, I'm not okay right now. And watch how little your boss gives a fuck about you as a person. As an employee, as long as you're making money, then, you know, everything's well and good. But as a person, yeah, they don't care.
Point where you will pick yourself up and you're just going to keep surviving because you've already been surviving. So, you know, I don't know what else to say. My reaction is still shock. In 2016, when it happened, I was genuinely just like, I don't even have the words to describe my reaction as I watched it. I wasn't live streaming it. So I saw the results come in and I'm just like,
I didn't either.
My country did this? They voted for Donald Trump, this clown. And so this time, I feel like I'm a lot more not ready for this because you're never ready for fascism to come to your country, obviously. Not to laugh, to downplay, but like I laugh in awkward situations when I don't know really what to say. But I mean, like, I just feel like...
I mean, yeah, it's kind of strange that the Constitution even enables it to begin with. I mean, that's just it. If you can weasel your way into the office, yeah, you can do that. You could absolutely be a fascist dictator in the United States. The Constitution allows for it. There's no protections against it. Perks of being an anarchist. You see it for what it is.
I guess I'm numb. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's hard to collect my thoughts, but I just feel numb right now because my faith in the American people over time has diminished a little bit here, a little bit there.
Oh, it's gone for me.
And I've just come to realize that everybody they're in this for themselves and they don't necessarily...
I take the George Carlin outlook on everything. Collectively, this country sucks. On a personal level, you meet somebody and they're really genuinely kind-hearted and everything, and, you know, just you have a general bond. But when they get into coalescing little groups and little organizations, then that's when you start having problems. Yeah, George Carlin was right. You're very welcome, Twisted Sticks. And yeah, you feel free to feel safe here. This is a safe place. Just not for fascists and dictators and assholes and bigots and Nazis, neo-Nazis. Yeah. If you're one of those people, then yeah, we're gonna especially make you feel like shit and trash. Yeah, because that's what you are. You are excrement on my boot. But anybody else outside that purview, yeah, this is a safe place. If you're gonna advocate for freedom and liberty and you know, letting people live that might not be what you approve of, I guess, you know, maybe you do approve of, and you're just like, hey, yeah, gay people and trans people, I mean, they're all right. They're cool. They're cool people. Nazis, on the other hand, nah. Nah, they're kind of, no. You'll find out. It will serve you absolutely no purpose in life. You just think you're an edgelord because, I believe black people are inferior to me. What purpose does that serve? Ordained by God. Oh my God. So yeah. Yeah, it's not a safe place for you.
They care about their neighbors. They don't care about marginalized people. My own family doesn't give a fuck that other family members that we have for LGBTQ plus might be damaged by a Trump administration. They are convinced that the economy was better under Donald Trump. So that's the way that they voted. They voted out of self-interest and out of ignorance. And I mean, if the 20% tariffs do come through, then they're going to realize really quickly that, yeah, Trump wasn't great for the economy, but I mean, they made their decision. And we have to live with that fact and learn how to live with that fact and try to find a way to coexist with people who think it's okay to vote for a party that wants the rest of us to just be Thanos snapped. But I mean, this is the situation that we have, and there's nothing we can do to change it. We did our part. We voted. Some of you canvassed, I'm sure. Some of you
did.
Shared,
yeah, you guys did a whole lot. You guys did a whole lot. We have no fallback plan. We have no contingency. We have no infrastructure in place to be able to protect ourselves. But hey, you guys did a really good job canvassing. I love that. That was really good. Excellent job. Pat yourselves on the back. Your candidate failed in the end because of course he was going to fail. But that's okay. That's okay. It's just a waste of money, time, resources, and effort. Don't worry about it. It's the reason why I barely covered anything about this election, because it would be a waste of my time, my resources, my effort. I knew it was going to fail. She's an idiot. She's a moron. I didn't want to tell people that because, yeah, maybe she had a chance of winning. But at the end of the day, the only means of solutions is ourselves. Don't rely on Kamala Harris. Don't rely on Democrats. Don't rely on Republicans. Don't rely on any politicians to help you. It ain't going to happen. Their main focus is appealing to corporations. That's it.
On social media, get out and vote. You've done your part. So now the results have happened and they are what they are. And now we just have to live with that and try to adapt. But there's time before Trump assumes office. So don't worry if you're taking, a couple of days to just sulk. That's okay. But you're going to get back up on your feet and you're going to get back to it. We all are.
I'm sure in the next couple of years, you're going to see video after video after video from him just absolutely milking Donald Trump for everything he's got. Because if Kamala won, what videos would he make? And he's talking about surviving, which is funny because I got a clip for you. Now this is parody. This is protected here because what I'm doing is making a reference to scene in a movie. I gotta rewind it just a little bit.
Nothing.
Maniacs, the only few will survive.
I don't want to survive. I want to live.
I don't want to survive. I want to live. Yeah, let's survive. God, we're not even done yet. And just to avoid, make sure that that's not going to do anything, we're going to paste it here. Okay, yeah. Breaking. Is it not doing the thing that I needed to do? There you go. Is this?
Well,
oh, I got the wrong video. I'm sorry, people. There he is. All right, here we are. Sorry, no wonder it didn't work.
Okay, so this is not the video that I wanted to be making today. I know a lot of you right now are scared and despairing and confused and exhausted. That's okay, you're right to feel that way. I know pretty much all of us were shocked by the results. We're obviously going to spend the next few days and weeks and months, I'm sure, autopsying what happened, and there's going to be the usual finger pointing from people who are going to say that they knew better. But to be honest, I think that the Harris campaign did run the best campaign they could have possibly run, given the circumstances. I also think that, more broadly, there are a lot of massive structural disadvantages that Democrats are contending with right now that, in retrospect, made winning this election very difficult. First and foremost, something that I've been beating the drum about for years now, the right has a propaganda machine at its disposal that hums on for 24 hours a day on TV and radio and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube and Rumble and Discord servers everywhere that pump out right-wing propaganda on an endless loop. The top 20 podcasts in America include Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, Theo Vaughn, Dan Bongino, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, and Ben Shapiro. You know,
hey, notice something. I'm not on the list. See? Bit of a problem, huh? Collectively, they're set for life. But if leftists can't get their shit together and support other leftists, of which of course they won't, because, you know, YouTube is a competition, and they don't give a fuck about unionizing, collectivizing, anything. Well, it's no fucking wonder. Wait a second. All those people coalesced together. They all have the same mindset. All their money is tied together. They trade with each other. Republicans have figured it out. They don't need your fucking money. They've got their own. And they're going to milk the YouTube audience because collectively they can all agree on the color of shit. It's orange. The color of shit is literally orange. It's brown is a really, really dark orange. So, you know, Orange Man wins. He's about the color of shit. So there you go. They all agree that Orange Man is the exact same color as shit. So what do? Are you going to fight them on their own terms? Or are you going to collectivize? Are you going to make it possible for even small YouTubers to get a leg up? Because if you want even small YouTubers to be accessible as them, you got to support them. You got to support and promote them. Look at me. I'm promoting you, aren't I? Brian Tyre Colin. Aren't I promoting your channel here? Oh, you'll probably get my video removed, which will be really fucking hilarious. Oh my god, I would love to fucking see it. Then I can just say, look, see, the fucking left is absolutely useless.
who we've got on the left on that list, The Daily and Pod Save America. All the while, Democrats continue, for some fucking reason unbeknownst to me, to pretend that mainstream media is some partner in democracy, that they're on our team. I don't know how much clearer I can say this. They are not on our team.
No,
Corporate media exists to serve its shareholders. It is a business before it's anything else. Certainly.
Calling the kettle. Keep going.
Before it's some protector of democracy. And yet still, our side has decided that when there's a big interview, go to mainstream media. When there's news, give it to mainstream media. Let's keep validating the same outlets.
Are you whining? Are you whining? Sounds to me like he wants some promotion for himself. Don't go to mainstream media. Go to Brian Tyler Cohen. Listen to this guy. You could listen to me, but you know how I hardly cover the news because what's the point? It would just be milking the story.
That continuously undermine us at every single turn. Sometimes I have to beg politicians for interviews for my channel for months and months and months and months and still don't even hear back. And yet they'll fall over themselves to go talk to the New York Times, the same outlet that ran, what?
I mean, you have to pay these interviewers. you have to pay the people to come over. It's kind of expensive, yeah. If you pay somebody, they'll do anything for you. I'm just saying, if you want somebody that's going to be honest, pick the guy that's like, hey, yeah, I'll come on the channel pro bono, yeah. You could interview me right now. I'm fucking Zoom call. You could interview me. Will you? Will you? Come on, Brian. Will you?
"60 cover stories about Hillary's emails? That's who they need to confer more validation onto? That's who they need to reward with their time, with eyeballs? We desperately need a left-wing media ecosystem that rivals what they have on the right. And we desperately need our politicians and thought leaders to embrace that idea. The fact that they don't...
What would they? Why? The fuck is this? Can you expand the screen? I'm trying to goon to you. What the fuck, bro? Can I grab it? There you go.
Means that we will continue to lose people other than the same couple of million people who tune into mainstream media every day. People who, by the way, are already Democratic voters.
No, actually, nope. You have to pay $5 a month to my Patreon. Sorry. I don't even have a Patreon, but you know, I got bills to pay, you know. So no gooning to me. Sorry. You gotta pay for it.
Information voters and don't need any more persuading. That is not where the persuadable people are. Find people where they are, and until we do,
at the end of the stream, I'd like to promote my book, so I can utilize this this story for my own self gain.
Keep losing to the right. The other barrier that we face in this election is that we are more broadly in a period of global high inflation that came about after COVID. And
oh God, I'm gonna have to explain social economics to this guy. So, do you understand where inflation comes from? Because you're gonna love this. It comes from the Federal Reserve Bank, of which our money is no longer tied to the gold standard. Oh, by the way, you can thank FDR for that. You're gonna love the irony of this shit. So FDR sold us out to the Federal Reserve. He made all gold bullion illegal, which means that every single piece of currency that we now produce is not bound to the price of gold or what's in reserve. No. It's not about that. Every single dollar we produce is tied to the value of its own self, which means that the more value, the more money that you print to put in circulation, the less it's worth. So in our geniusness, we have put so much currency out there that it's devalued itself in so much. And the genius, I mean, the absolute dumbass, but you know, this guy prides himself as genius, by the name of Neil deGrasse Tyson, said that's a good thing. That's the way it should be. Instead of saying, wait a second, maybe we should analyze history. Why in the fuck do we have a Federal Reserve? Oh, that's right. We needed a private entity to be able to produce money for ourselves, to loan it bank bonds, Federal Reserve bonds. We needed to give those up to the Federal Reserve in exchange for currency they can print what's the word, ad nauseum. It could just do whatever the fuck it wants with absolutely no regulatory commission. And if it defaults, I'm not kidding about this, if it goes belly up, we pay for it. We pay for it through the FDIC. So when FDR had all the means and power to say, hey, let's disband the Federal Reserve because clearly it's not working. We've already had a Great Depression. Maybe we should just disband it and we go back to a gold standard and all that. Or possibly a resource-based economy. Could have even, you know, looked up. It's called opening up a fucking book. Could have opened up a book. Could have said, wait a second, this is something new. How about a resource-based economy? He probably would have lost election. So instead, sell us out to the Federal Reserve, to the FDIC. Basically make it the centralized Bank of America, and our alternative currency is Bitcoin, which, yeah, cryptocurrency, that's still tied to the Federal Reserve. So anybody that thinks that they're investing in something different, you're a fucking moron. That's the way it's been. I don't think even Brian Tyree even understands that. He's just going to say that inflation was caused by COVID. No. I mean, yeah, we put more money in there to be able to account for the people that were suffering and dying and had no money for health care. But, hey, I mean, we figured it out, right? We're reducing inflation. We won't outright eliminate it. We won't outright eliminate inflation until you get every single dollar in circulation out of circulation. I'm just saying, you know, I've studied social economics for a long, long time, and these jokesters,
some of us,
you guys are fucking hilarious.
You know, are privileged enough to be able to say that our top issues in this election are democracy and climate change, things like that. For most people in this country, people who, by the way, can't afford a $400 emergency, the cost of stuff going up in the grocery store was their top priority. And when you're mad, you blame the people in charge. And the people in charge right now are the Democrats. For a lot of people out there, it's as simple as that. And that has happened across the world. In France, Marine Le Pen basically neutered Macron. It happened to Sunak in the UK. Modi lost his majority in India, South Africa, Senegal. This was a miserable environment for incumbents, not just here in the US, but across the entire planet. And I know there's a lot of talk about, you know, was it the right move to put Kamala in?
No.
Could Joe Biden have won? Should there have been a primary instead when he dropped out? Should Biden have just announced that he wouldn't run again immediately after winning? And
then we get to sit there and debate which Democratic moron would have been the best choice. Fucking hilarious. If only we just picked the right candidate. It didn't matter. Who do we have as a celebrity? Who's the Democratic celebrity that has any chance of winning? Who's the Democratic celebrity? Republicans had, what, 2? They've already had 2. Probably didn't know this, but Ronald Reagan, yeah, he was a Hollywood actor. Who do we have? Taylor Swift? Yeah, we run on a campaign. Taylor Swift for president. Literally, because that's all they've got. That's literally all they have. They don't have anybody. Nobody's qualified for the position. They're all a bunch of fucking flat morons. It doesn't matter. In the conservative circle, they're all flat morons. They don't have a fucking clue. It's all energy. It's all celebrity. That's it. We don't give a fuck about policy. We don't give a fuck about our own human survival. We don't care. Grocery prices. Alleviate our grocery prices. Who the fuck's gonna tell the corporations to reduce their prices? Morons. Okay, so I might have to just start showcasing on stream different alternative solutions to your the products that you buy on a daily basis. You're gonna love this shit. Shampoos, conditioners, soaps, shit like that. We got to get away from corporations. You're gonna start making this shit yourself. I'm not fucking kidding. You're gonna have to start making this shit yourself. Or we could try it for another 4 years, if there even will be another one.
We can Monday morning quarterback this thing until we're blue in the face, but the reality is that I don't know if the best candidate on the face of the earth could have won in this political environment. Kamala ran a great campaign. Donald Trump ran a fucking miserable campaign.
Yeah.
Dude literally suggested that Nancy Pelosi was a bitch, what, the day before Election Day? His campaign trotted out a comedian that told Puerto Ricans their island was garbage and he needed to be able to reach out to Latinos. But the reality is that Democrats
he fleeced his voter base for $100,000 watches that aren't even worth not even a quarter of that, and Bibles that ironically fit this one guy in Oklahoma. He wants to put Bibles in schools, and everything checks out perfectly. Trump's Bibles check the check marks for what that Oklahoma piece of shit wants to do to school children. So there you go. Everybody gets a Bible. It's a Trump Bible for $60 a pop.
are in power, and they were going to be punished by people looking to punish those who are in power, just like they're doing across the entire world. That is the environment that we're in right now. So look, we're going to have days and weeks and months of autopsying here to figure out what went wrong. We're going to make changes. I'll probably figure out what changes I can make so that I can be most useful. We need to bring younger guys into the fold. On the left, I've joined Twitch this week to do exactly that.
I joined Twitch. He had all this time to join Twitch, and then he's like, oh yeah, I joined Twitch for, you know, younger people. Twitch is for people that aren't even allowed to vote yet. You know what Twitch is? I'm going to tell you what Twitch is. Twitch is a softcore porn site that children frequent. And that's just one of many, many things that are the reason I don't use Twitch, why I'm boycotting Twitch. Also, a woman lost her baby at TwitchCon. So, due to sheer negligence. Yeah, even if it was an accident, I mean, she jumped into the pit on purpose, but even if it was an accident, they didn't have enough padding there, so she broke her spine and lost her baby. Easily preventable, by the way, if you're not negligent, but that's TwitchCon, so. And Twitch bans you for 3 days for flopping out a nipple, and it's like, oh, that's just 3 days. Whatever. Literally people that do absolutely nothing, that sit there in a hot tub, and guys just waiting, just waiting, just, oh my god, is the nipple gonna flop out? Oh. If you're that fucking bored, oh my god. But that's Twitch. That's Twitch. The draconian contracts where you can't stream on multiple platforms, they are finally letting that up. But it's the fact of the matter that they did it to begin with. Nah. I bought my own equipment. You know, the computer, all this, the headset, all that. Twitch did not do that for me. So why does Twitch feel like it needs to feel empowered to own my equipment? No, nope, nope. They feel like they have a right to my equipment. Nope. Fuck them.
If you're on Twitch, follow me there, please. I'll try to do whatever I can to be useful and to try to compensate for feeling like I could have done more. But look, we're going to have, again, a lot of time to talk about what went wrong. But here's some practical advice for right now, for today. Take care of yourself. Make sure you have a community of people around you. Eat and drink and sleep. You're no use to the movement if you are exhausted and sleep deprived. And I know this is going to be a hard one, but it's the most important. Don't disengage. Take some time, take days or weeks, take the holidays, but don't check out completely. Do not reward the worst people by giving them exactly what they want. They'd want nothing more than for you to check out and give them a clear runway to just continue running roughshod over our country.
Of course.
The reason the ACA still exists today is because we all came together in 2018 and struck the fear of God into anybody who threatened it. If no one was paying attention, if people checked out because Donald Trump had just been elected, then 50 million Americans wouldn't have health care right now. So please do not check out. We need every person.
No, they don't have health care. They just have, you know, the means to be able to pay for it. They still don't have health care. But the ACA allowed people, what it did was put a big old stopper on the insurance companies from being able to deny coverage. That was a big deal. That shouldn't be the case in this country, where insurance companies are a determining factor of whether you live or die, because at the end of the day, if ACA is your means of whether or not you live or die, that's still your only means. Nobody should have to rely on the ACA in order to survive. Does that make any sense? ACA is just a stopper for a very corrupt system as it is. When I try explaining this to people, and I especially was like, hey, I don't think anybody that lives in poverty should be paying $400 a month for coverage, or else face fines or get punished at the end of the year for not paying that $400 a month for a $12,000 what was it? It was $12,000 deductible. Like, you better have $12,000 worth of medical bills or you don't even get coverage. Like, they don't cover anything until up to $12,000. Then after that point, then they'll start covering. So $400 a month and see nothing from it. Yeah, that was broken. That was pretty fucked up. Forcing Americans to do that, that was not cool. And then everybody's complaining, well, maybe if we just had a single payer system. Sitting alone in my room and wearing a mask. Okay, yeah. Useful idiots. I mean, the lot of them, useful idiots. They don't have any viable solutions for anybody except for how to appeal for the current systems that they have to work under. So they're not going to think outside the box. This is the best you're going to get.
For the fight ahead. And I'll leave you with this, some semblance of hope, if we can scrounge together something.
And I'm going to give you
8 years ago today, we all felt pretty similar to how we feel.
I'm going to give you actual, like, I'm going to leave you some actual hope.
Right now. Like, I remember sitting in my living room in 2016 with a whiteboard doing electoral math in my mid-20s and realizing in the moment that Hillary Clinton had no more path to victory and that
Oh my God. Oh my God. 8 years ago, you're in your mid-20s and you're doing this stupid shit. Oh my God. I think I've done more with my life. And I mean, I've sat in my... That's all I do is lay around doing fucking nothing. And I think I've done more with my life than this guy has, because he's never went to the Twin Oaks Community Conference. I have. I've gone out and talked to people outside the box of his little democratic paradigm. You think he's going to do that? Do you think he's going to try to find alternative solutions to problems? No. He's going to try to calculate in his mind how he's going to be able to get another Democrat elected. That's all he cares about.
Trump had won. And
in my mid-20s, I went down to fucking Virginia for the first time. Damn near got arrested doing it because I was riding with a person of color, and you know how the South feels about people of color. Well, he was driving a rental car, and the rental car had a bad taillight. Cop didn't like that, so he threatened to want to search her vehicle. Well, the guy I was riding with says, "No, you're not going to search the vehicle. I don't consent to a search and seizure." You know, exercising constitutional rights. Well, they pulled him out, and things got said. I don't know exactly what happened, but the driver came back. We went on our way. That was that. And I'm like, damn, this guy must have some kind of secret weapon, because being a black guy, southern state, busted taillight, middle of the night, cop wanting to run a canine around your car on a rental car. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think the Democrats are going to protect you from that? I never talked to people in person. I've never been black before.
In political media shortly thereafter.
Of course, nobody can just be
within 2 years
black.
of that moment, we would come together to elect Democrats by the biggest House margin in modern American history in the 2018 midterms. I hate that we are in this cyclical hellscape, this doom loop that we find ourselves in, but
I hate that we're in this doom loop that I'm contributing to. I love it. Yeah, I hate it too. Maybe think outside the box a little bit, just a little bit, and be like, damn, we could do other things. We could do better things. But nah, that's work. That's effort. That means helping people out. I don't want to do all that. Fuck that. Useless. Absolutely useless idiot.
it's informative in that we know what could come next. So we stay engaged, we organize, and we vote. And I know that's
oh my God. I hate this doom loop that we're in. This absolute cyclical hellscape that we're in. Let's organize and vote. Let's not give collective access of resources. Let's not set up tool libraries. Let's not make community gardens. Let's not build solutions for ourselves with, by the way, the money that Brian Tyler Cohen has in his back pocket. I'm sure he's got more than enough. He could easily fix problems, but chooses not to. You know how much it would be you know how much it would cost to set up a community garden? I mean, I'd do it, but here's the thing. The money that I put forward, I got to make sure I get reinvested, because if I put money forward and then if I run out, I'm done. I got to go back to work. That's it. That's that. I will be live streaming anymore. No more entertainment, no more fun. Hell, I barely live streams as it is because I'm always too busy. But it would be nice to where if I feel encouraged enough, you know, instead of just doing these live streams where maybe one or two people are watching, maybe it was like more people. Maybe if there was something I could do to develop a community of people that are all like-minded, and we set up like a community network, and we would just be like, hey, we could do more. Hey, we could do more. Hey, buddy, guess what? What? Chicken butt?
Comfort right now and might feel reductive to say that all we have to do is vote, especially in light of what we just saw. But I promise you,
chicken butt.
I promise you that in 2 years, it will happen. A lot of the people who voted for Donald Trump,
hang on, let me rewind this.
Vote, especially in light of what we just saw. You'll organize and we vote. And I know that's cold comfort right now and might feel reductive to say that all we have to do is vote, especially.
Yeah, it is pretty fucking reductive.
In light of what we just saw. But I promise you that in 2 years, it will happen. A lot of the
We have less than 2 months. We don't have 2 years, Brian. We have less than 2 months. So go out there and vote. Do absolutely nothing for your community. Do not set up any sort of nothing. No infrastructure. Nothing. 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 We set up nothing. Let's do absolutely nothing. Just go vote. If you vote, America will automatically fix itself. It would have to. It'd have to fix itself. Because it's not like Democrats would impose policies completely against their best interests. It's not like Democrats work for corporations. Do you see what I mean? This is the best we have from the left. This right here, the pinnacle. How much? Let's see, BTC, right? All right, let's see here. What's this post-election update? How many subscribers? 3.43 million. That's alien with an M. Million subscribers. And this guy is going to be like, fuck it. Reductive, don't care. It sounds reductive. But if we just vote again, in 2 years things will change because midterms. Vote for whom, Brian? Another corporate sellout? Another Gaza genocide apologist? Who? Not voting for ourselves now, are we?
The people who voted for Donald Trump this time either don't remember what it was like when he was in office.
They don't.
Or looking back with rose-colored glasses, or buying some revisionist history, or weren't even old enough to experience it. But they'll see the chaos that comes with it. I can promise you that they will experience that chaos and come to regret it. Enough people will.
And that's your imposition of violence right there. See, they don't even give a fuck about it. They don't even give a fuck about people that voted for Donald Trump despite his violent rhetoric. Oh, you voted for Donald Trump? Well, bad things are going to happen to you. You deserve bad things happening to you because you voted for Donald Trump. That's the rhetoric. How's that going to work? Do you honestly think that's going to... Oh, this Democrat over here wants to impose violence against me by means of using Donald Trump to impose violence against me. Yeah, I think I'll vote Democrat. Because this Democrat said I should. No, they're going to double down. Doxing the well-known neo-Nazi? Yeah, now they're going to retaliate. They're going to double down. Don't think for a second they wouldn't dox us. Difference is, they're not going to go to your house to protest. They're not coming to your house to protest. No, they're not going to come to your house to protest. They're going to beat down the fucking door, and they're going to beat the lever-loving piss out of you. They're going to enact violence. How do I know that? January 6th. And if they're all pardoned, there you go. There's your free ticket. It's like that one Batman movie.
Do what we did in 2018. But that means that we have to stay in this fight. It means that we can't disengage. Do not give up here. Take a break. Take all the time you need, but don't give up.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you for that complete waste of rhetoric. I appreciate it. That was good. That was good. So with your what was it again? 3.43 million subscribers. Out of all those subscribers, I'm sure a couple of them would be like, yeah, we could build some infrastructure. Yeah. They would love to invest in some infrastructure. Yeah, let's build some community gardens. Yeah, let's build some tool libraries. Trump's going to take credit for it. But that's the thing. We're separating ourselves. We can declare independence. Legally, we can declare independence. Because if somebody wants to come in there and say, no, you're not allowed building resources for the homeless. No, you're not allowed having tools available for people to utilize free of charge. No, you're not allowed building things for yourself to make life easier. No, you're not allowed to do that. How many times in history has that happened? And we said, okay, all right, Mr. President, we'll listen to you. We won't do that. We'll be good. We're going to miss Trump lied to his face. We'll be good. We'll be good little obedient citizens. You do realize this country was founded on the notion of disobedience, right? I want you to really, really, really think about that. This country was even founded on the notion of a little bit of anarchy. Just a little bit. Hey, no more kings. No more overrulers telling us what we can and can't do. That sounds relatively nice, doesn't it? But no. This useful fucking moron. Let's go vote. And hope that the rest of the country agrees. Let's hope. Because in 2 years, I guess people's prospects will change. Oh, because what you're hoping for is that Trump's economic policies will, I'm not kidding about this. This is what your mindset. This is your mindset. This is the liberal leftist mindset here. Trump's policies are going to damage the nation in so much that people are going to feel compelled to vote for your party just because his failed, like, it's still failed policies. It's still failed economy that we have to recover from. So advocating it on the basis that people will reverse their voting, bro, that's still violence against me. That's violence against all your leftist voters. That's violence against all your Democratic voters. That's violence against Trump supporters. That's still violence, violence, violence in order to get your little political your political way. Make it make sense, Brian. You can't advocate for people suffering under this. You can't do it. It makes you no better. I don't want people to have to suffer under this. I want to see this as kind of like, hey, well, we do still have opportunity, right? Opportunity economy. Well, here's the opportunity, Brian. Brian, Brian, you there? Hello, Brian. Hello. Opportunities. You got 3.43 million subscribers. Got a lot of YouTube money. Brian, hello. What are you gonna do? Come on, wake up. Opportunities slapping you in the face. Nah, fuck it. 2 more years. Useless. But hey, at least he didn't put an ad on the video. I notice there's a lot of leftists, a lot of Democrats are like, hey, Donald Trump's horrible, but buy my book. Check out these earbuds. Go to Ground News. That's the source where I go and pay a substantial amount of money to get, well, it's not unbiased. It's just basically showing all outlets at once and what their biases are. But yeah, for what should be an open source Ground News should be open source and freely available to all. But nah, pay money. Morons. So, let me give you guys some hope here. We're going to end on some hope. Because at least this guy makes sense, and he was one of the candidates in 2016 that you guys didn't vote for. Because it had to have been written in, of course. But also, Trump shagged Maddie on the back. Okay. But also, he's a bit of a write-in. But here you go.
Hello, America. I'm Steve Saylor, and I'm running for President of the United States. And unlike the other candidates who are trying to solve our problems from inside the box of our current system, I'm telling you it's not going to happen.
It ain't going to happen.
I've explained in detail why it can't be done. The problems are systemic, and we desperately need to move into a new system that, for one thing, is not based on infinite growth and consumption. This is what's killing our planet. We can see it happening right before our eyes, and yet we keep on doing it? How stupid must we insist on being here? We have to get ourselves into a new system that is not based on growth, but works within the laws of nature, not the laws of man and some illegitimate government, a corporation pretending to be a government.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we don't need this government anymore, which is actually working in direct opposition to the public interest now. This can be replaced with a direct democracy approach where decisions are made at a community level with no higher authority intervening to exert control or coercion over anyone. Is this too much for you? Talking about getting rid of our government? No? Good. Let's go a step further. We don't need a president either.
Yep.
Hey, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be your leader, and you shouldn't want someone else to do that. That's your job in our new system. Everyone gets to be their own leader. You decide what you're going to do with your life and how you might contribute to your community. We all need to understand that we've entered a new age of technology where The old traditions and political ideologies are no longer relevant.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need supreme leaders or kings and queens. Oh, sure, you look fabulous in your colorful costumes, but here's the truth. This is not healthy for our society because it perpetuates this notion that some people are born to be king. You have the bloodlines to be royalty, and the rest of you, born to be peasants. You were born to be subservient. I'm sorry. No, this class division and the inequality it creates is poisonous to our society, and it's the cause of so much of the sickness we see everywhere around us now. So let me make this promise to you right now that if I am elected, I will get the hell out of the way and turn things over to our resource management team that we nominate to gather the information about the best ways to produce the things we need and want, information that we will use to make our decisions. This would be the sensible way to go about it. No need for politics or this government or a president. So if this new, sustainable, humane approach of intelligent management is something you support, then remember you're not voting for me. You're voting for an updated system that puts our people and our planet ahead of profit.
Mm-hmm.
You're advocating a peaceful revolution into a new paradigm where we collaborate with the rest of the world instead of trying to dominate the world, which means no more wars. And you favor getting rid of the banking cartels and this corrupt monetary system, the economic slavery, and getting rid of irrelevant jobs, taking advantage of our technology so we can get rid of even more jobs that can be replaced by automation.
Yeah.
As Arthur C. Clarke, the writer and futurist, said, the goal in the future is full unemployment. And that doesn't mean we just sit around and do nothing. It means we're not employed by our owners, that we can work for ourselves and share our talents and creativity with our community.
See?
The global community.
Yeah.
So unlike the other candidates, I pledge to get rid of jobs and stop this unsustainable, cancerous growth before it spreads any further. And I want to turn the White House into a museum. No, seriously, let's make this the last presidential election we have to suffer through, wasting so much of our time and our resources on this exercise in irrelevance. We have to work together now before it's too late to move us into a new age of abundance and collaboration for a truly sustainable and peaceful future.
See? See? Doesn't that make so much more sense? No, I got the solution for you. What we need is an opportunity economy so we can strengthen the middle class. If we just strengthen the middle class, that's all we have to do, and then everything will be better. I mean, you still have two more classes, the lower and upper class. They still exist. But as long as we strengthen the middle class through our opportunity economy, to where our economy is based on opportunity and growth, then that will fix all the problems. Do you understand why the fuck she lost? Now we're starting to see it. That was our solution. That was the best we could bring to the table. I applaud you, Democrats. You did so fucking well this season. Hey, but at least you got endorsement by Taylor Swift. That's important. That's what matters. I'm sure Taylor Swift and all her infinite wisdom, if you want to call it that, I'm sure she's an anarchist. Yeah, I'm sure. Has he suggested such? No. Perks of it being an anarchist, ladies and gentlemen. You start to put your mind outside the box and you start seeing candidates like this. Not Jill Stein, she would have easily thrown us under the bus for Putin. That guy. Why didn't we pick that guy? Well, what's the money free party? He has no power. Everything makes sense, but he has no power. So wait a second. If all it takes to be able to achieve power is people, not money, people, then maybe we have a chance. Maybe we should start, I don't know, promoting people that aren't really that well known, and they explode, and hey, look at that. And actually, he stays honest, because if you're not paying the guy, maybe he'll stay honest. I don't know. I mean, people still have a lot to gain when they even have people celebrating him, because Trump doesn't even have money, but he's got people. So, and with that, it's almost 11 o'clock. What can I do to fill in the next 9 minutes? Your sheriffs, they're against you. They're against your best interest. They are not there to protect and serve. I mean, you just saw it. They're not there to protect and serve, ironically, because doxing people for voting for the wrong candidate, not good. Not good. From either side. Serves no purpose. All you're doing is making your job that much harder, because when alienated Trump supporter when they feel alienated, they double down, and then they start getting into the violent rhetoric, and then they start stalking you, and then they Trent Crip. Why I'm a dumbass. I really wish I could showcase the Zeitgeist trilogy on here. I really wish I could. Your mind will be blown. You'll have a headache. You'll be sitting there just like, oh, Buzz, like, ooh, like everything just came to light to you, and you're like, mm-hmm. And then anarchy just doesn't seem that bad anymore. It just doesn't seem. It's like you get out of that paradigm and you're like, wait a second. I can be this person. I can be this person that I want to be. I don't have to abide by the little conformist box. Well, are you a Democrat? Or are you a conservative? Are you for Trump? Are you for Trump? Why didn't you vote for Trump? Do you hate America? Do you hate America? And it's the same from the left, too. Why'd you vote for Trump? Oh, don't you hate America? You hate America? And it is division. Absolutely. But I don't see any solution from either side about unification, because you've got to get the rhetoric out of your system. You have to get it out of your system that my side's going to win because we have this candidate. No, my side's going to win because I have this candidate. And then the anarchist is sitting there saying, you guys are both fucking morons. Everybody knows that Steve Saylor's going to win. No, yeah, you just show them this video. 99 out of 100 conservatives agree with this video. Ironically. And he thought, well, gee, they hate communists, don't they? They don't know what this is. They don't think this is communism. It's just a matter of, we're getting rid of subservient system. Okay, cool. I agree with that. Yeah. I don't like it when the Democrats tell me what I can and can't do. Okay, then. I don't either. I don't like when conservatives tell me what I can and can't do. But they don't understand that this would be like, oh, they would vote for it and be like, wait, women have freedom now? Oh, I don't like that. Black people are allowed to vote? Oh, I can't stand that. That's bad. Can't have that. Why not? Ask him. Just single question. Why? Get into a conversation and ask him why. Why are you standing there thinking that women are property? Why do you want to go back to slavery? Let them expose themselves on the internet for their own, like, their own ideals of why they want to go back into the past. Well, I think black people are subservient to me. And it's like, okay, so you're an asshole. All right. See? Not difficult. We already established that. Was it because of economics? Your everyday well-to-do American doesn't know shit about economics. They don't even know who makes money. They think corporations do. Who prints money? Who prints money? Corporate? No. The Federal Reserve does. This is how fractional reserve banking works. They don't know that. They don't understand that. Not even people in the banks, the people who loan your money out, they don't even know where it comes from. Asking for interest on top of the principal that the Federal Reserve loans out to banks. That's what we're paying our income tax on, is to pay back the interest on top of the principal. The interest will never be paid off. The principal will never be paid off. The only way you can be able to pay it back is by completely separating yourself from it into a different social economic model. And I guarantee you the government will fight you tooth and nail to ensure that doesn't happen, because it's happened before. When America separated itself from England, we didn't have a centralized bank. We were separating ourselves from the centralized Bank of England. You do know what happened? King George went to war with us and said, you can't do that. So you think you're Democrat. Look, when you separate yourself and you say, we're a community that is completely independent from currency, your Democrats that you elected, they will absolutely stab you in the back. Do not act surprised when they do it. And Republicans, well, gee, what's the rhetoric so far? We've already seen it. The guy hasn't even been in office yet, and you've already saw what the rhetoric is. So if you believe that women are not property, and you believe that black people are not property, that's pretty radical. That's pretty fucking woke. That's the bare minimum standard. That's all it takes to be considered woke. Just by respecting women and people of color. That's all it takes, folks. You will be alienated by your neighbors on that basis alone. I can't believe we got to do this again. More civil unrest. We fought over slavery before. And that was a mess. And we got nothing to show for it. Barely anything. Oh, black people were given the right to vote. Okay, cool. Who are they going to vote for? The same choices as every other white person. Where's the liberty? Where's the freedom? Where is the, hey, this is revolutionary. We give women the right to vote and we give black people the right to vote. For whom? Don't dare vote third party. especially during this election. Oh, man. You're throwing your vote away. Did it matter? Jill Stein was not going to win. We know that. But did any of the votes, if any of her votes went to Kamala Harris, would it have made a dent? No. It wouldn't have made a difference. It's just that Democratic policy, they're weak sauce. They're weak. And they appeal to corporations, the exact same corporations that Trump appeals to. So it doesn't matter. And what do you have? Do you have a celebrity? Do you have a Democratic celebrity in place that isn't bound to corporations? You don't. So what the hell is going to be our solution in the next 2 years? Nobody. Well, vote for this guy, though. I mean, this guy, just completely out of nowhere, that this one politician, he's going to be the hope for America. Absolutely. Vote for this guy. Haven't heard of him, haven't seen him, don't know who he is, but vote for him because he's part of the Democratic Party. Make sure to do that. No, we're out of time, people. You might want to start considering collaborating your efforts and your assets together. We're done. And this stream is done. Folks, just let this do. This is probably going to be like the one and only live stream. There might be other live streams, but it's going to be few and far between. I'm not going to cover everything that Donald Trump says or does. We already know. Watch the news. What difference does it make if I say anything? Oh, well, your YouTube channel, we're going to play some fucking video games. We can discuss politics while I play video games, but I'm not going to focus entire streams dedicated to this because I get tired of saying the same shit over and over and over and over again. Oh, he did something bad. Fucking duh. Would it make any difference if Kamala did the exact same thing? Where's the outrage? What if Kamala went into power? Hey, Israel, here you go. Here's everything you want. Here's a foreign nation allowed to tell us who we can vote for, if we're going to get our disaster relief funding. In the clause it says you got to sign here, sign the dotted line to swear allegiance to Israel. That happened, by the way. I covered it. Did anybody listen? Fuck no. But what do I just keep saying the same shit over and over and over and over again? That does nothing for me. It does nothing for you. But all your bread tubers on YouTube are going to be video after video. Let them make money. Cool, whatever. But they have all the means in the world to at least parcel that out to smaller channels, especially like ones like me. And then I could start making videos of like, hey, there's a building. We're constructing a building made completely out of straw bales and hempcrete. What do you think? Or we can just wait 2 years for the next fucking dumbass to get in power. And then facepalm when they say something that's like, oh my god. Like the energy, oh my god, the energy, oh, we're gonna defeat him, and I mean everybody's like cheering and everything, and all it takes is one question saying, what are you gonna do about the economy? We just need an opportunity economy. We just need to strengthen the middle class. And it's just like, this is so boring. I'd rather listen to a guy complain about migrants. I'd rather go to some place where they're complaining about they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Literally a Nazi talking point. That just goes to show you, hey, they will listen to neo-Nazis right in their ear. They won't listen to you. Not you. But at the ear of the ground, and those neo-Nazis are saying, hey, did you know that migrants are eating cats and dogs? You should say that on national television. And then he says it, and then he gets elected. So yeah, you're letting down all those people that died in World War II. Your grandfathers. Maybe your fathers, you're still a senior citizen. Your father served in World War II. He died to make sure that a Nazi from Germany wasn't able to invade the United States. But anyway, that's it for this stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click that notification bell for the video. Share it with all your friends, and check out my book. I don't really have a book, but that's what I'll let this do. Check out this particular website that I get paid by. Check them out. I'm not I'm not paid by a website. I'm just declaring it now. I'm not being sponsored by anybody. Oh, do you like my earbuds? Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna tell you who they're from either. In fact, the name of them is so fucking long I can't even say it on stream. I can't even read the thing. There you go. 4 years of leftist cow milking. No viable solutions, nobody going out of their way, nobody going out and touching grass. You want to see if Brian Tyler Cohen is going to go out inside and touch grass and say, hey, look at this. Look at what we're doing. I mean, I could have built you a car that could run completely off of vegetable oil. That project fell through. Too bad. Could have done a lot of things. Don't trust your local leftist. They're not going to help you. Don't even trust your local conservative. You're on your own. You're done. You're on your own. That's it. That's all you've got. So, you could easily promote the video. Do a lot of things. Are you, though? Are you really going to? Are you really going to promote the video? You're not going to. So, don't expect anything to change. All I am is the messenger. So, did I do all the... Oh, yeah. Do all these hoops you want you to jump through. Just so you can become big and popular on here. And with that, check out Steve Saylor's video I showed you, the Steve Saylor for President. You'll like that whole series. Oh, and check out Culture in Decline. You'll like that one too. It's funny as shit. Maybe I even watch it on stream. I think that'd be fucking awesome. But anyway, with that, I am now signing off. I want to stream sometime soon. We're gonna do some kind of trucking something. I want to play some games. I am done talking politics for a while. I want to play some games and have some fun. I'd like to do that. Can I get as many viewers here, the guys that are watching right now? Can I get you guys to watch me play some video games? Okay. Anyway, like and subscribe. See you guys real soon. Good night, everybody.